I treat a chick like a queen, but she has to realize I'm the goddamn king. And this dude that's yelling in the parking lot shit, this is actually a good dude, bro. This is a good dude, and he still got shit on. But, like I say always, man. Nah, we're gonna turn it that way, because for some reason you can't see me. I don't know what's up with that shit. Why y'all can't see me, I don't know. But anyways, the topic is, if you love somebody, do you let them go? So basically, if somebody is trying to leave, do you let them go? The simple, short answer would be the answer that nobody wants to hear. But the answer is yes. And honestly, it's not about if you love them. It's about if you love yourself. Say that shit again. Because the old saying is, if you love them, let them go. They come back, blah, blah, blah. We already know the story. Honestly, it's if you love yourself, you would let them go. I mean, it's if you love them too, because honestly, once you really look at it, like, all right, I care about the person that I want it to the point that I want them to be happy, even if it's not with me type shit, right? Just like if you have a daughter, you want your daughter to eventually be happy with another dude instead of just you being the main guy making her happy, you know? And it has to be without you at some point in life, right? Well, that's how I look at it with females that I care about type shit. Like, I would want them to be happy. Why would I want them to suffer and not be with nobody just because it's not me type shit? Nah, it's not good. I mean, I get it. I get why motherfuckers wouldn't want to do it, because I'm human too. You don't want them to be with somebody else and be happy with somebody else. But since you care about that person, you don't want them to suffer. You want them to be happy. You know what I mean? Should you let them go? Yeah, you should, because the reason why, there's many reasons, but the main reason is that's the only chance you have of really getting them back. Now, I'm gonna say this shit. If they are trying to fight to stay just as much as you are, then you probably shouldn't let them go, because y'all are both trying to fight and stay. But if it's just you, like, I don't want to break up, I want to be with you, I want to be with you, I want to work this shit out, and they don't seem like they doing that back, yes, you got to let them go. Because like I said before, it's not necessarily about if you love them, let them go. It's if you love yourself. You know what I'm saying? And the only chance you have of getting them back is letting go. I know that's scary to a motherfucker, to some of y'all, like Freddy Krueger and shit, but you're going to have to let them go. You're going to have to take that risk, because this is why. The only way that they're going to see your value again, should I say, or, you know, come to their senses and realize, like, yeah, I want to be with this person. The only way is if you let them go. They have to experience the loss of you, just like you probably have experienced the loss of them, and that's probably why you're tweaking. Usually what happens is somebody leaves or cheats, basically, you know, and the other person tweaks, and they're experiencing that loss. But see, it's all gravy when, let's be real about it. It's all gravy when you got the other girl or the other dude and they ain't got nobody yet. It's all good. And they still blowing you up and shit. It's all good, right? But when they stop hitting you up, it's a whole different ball game. We've been there before. I think we all have. You know what I mean? Like, man, I ain't tripping on that girl. Yeah, because she's still hitting you up. I ain't worried about him, yeah, because he's still hitting you up. But when he stopped, that's when the real tests start. That's why, like, if I was to get with a girl that broke up with a guy, I would take a lot of time with that girl first. I would let her go through the stages of the dude not reaching out to her and shit like that. She has to go through that so she can get past all that shit, you know what I mean? To really fuck with me. Because she could really want to fuck with me and still slip up and go back and shit like that because she didn't go through the stages, you know what I'm saying? You gotta go through them stages, and 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna want them once you're done with the stages anyway. You know, you want them now, yeah. You want them now, or you want what you thought it was, or what you thought they was. Because a lot of times it ain't even them. That's not even who they are, and it's not, and the situation isn't what you think it was. You are tweaking over what you thought the person was and what you thought the situation was. But once life reveals that that's not it, you need to think logically, like, okay, life showed me this is not it. That's not who that person is. That's not what this relationship is. This situation is, right? Instead of going back to La La Land and you're feeling shit and all this bullshit, making up all this shit in your mind that doesn't probably exist, you know, thinking it's this and that and a picket fence on the hill type shit. You know what I'm saying? But you should let him go, man. And I know that by me saying that to him, that don't mean he gonna let the chick go. But that's his only shot. That's the only shot. And it also helps you put the ball in motion of you getting over them in case they don't come back. But if you hounding them, begging them and all that, you're not getting over them, and you stand no chance of, you're probably pushing them away even more, especially females. Now, a woman can hound a man, that might work, but a man doing it, 9 times out of 10, you pushing that woman away even more. So you just gotta put on your grown man pants and be willing to lose the chick, because she has to feel like she has to lose you. The only way for her to not want to lose you is for her to lose you, because or he, if you're a woman in this situation, because they're the ones that's telling you that they don't want to no more. We're not talking about some relationship just not going good, but nobody really said that they didn't want to be with this one or that one type shit. We're not talking about that. That's different. If that situation, y'all both better just try to fix the shit or just leave it alone. Y'all both better fix it or just let go, right? But we're talking about when you trying but they not type shit. Or they don't seem like they want it, but you do. I've been there, but I've also been the other side too. So I know both ways of this shit. And all I can say is just let it go and live your life. This is why I be so busy all the time. I go to the gym, I go to work and all this and all that. You know, that is my girlfriend. You know what I mean? And I ain't even going through no breakup anymore. I'm not even going through no breakup, but that's my girlfriend staying busy. This is what you gotta do. Unfortunately, if you trying to fight and they not trying to fight for it, they have to lose you to not lose you. If there's any chance of not losing you, they have to lose you. Why? Because they had to experience what it's like without you. That's the only way you can get a clear signal to their head, like, I'm this great person trying to be with you, right? Knocking on your head, but you don't want to listen. All right, there's only one way to get your attention. And you gotta mean this shit too. You can't just, I'm just gonna act like I ain't gonna talk to her, dog, for a week and then see what happens. No, you really gotta be like, all right, I'm just gonna let this shit go, or let this dude go if you're a girl. You gotta be willing to let them go, because that's the only shot you got at fixing it. And that's why if you love them, you would let them go. We're not talking about somebody who's trying and they're in a relationship that's not that good or whatever's going bad, and both people nobody really said they wanted to leave. We're not talking about that. In that situation, you should just try. But we are talking about when somebody is saying they don't want to be there or want to be with you, or they talking to somebody else type shit. You gotta let them go. Or maybe they don't say and they hiding and you see it or something. You gotta let them go, man. In the end, more than likely, they're going to be wrong and you're going to be right. And you might look back and be like, I'm glad I let them go. You know, it all depends on what's going on, but you're always going to not want to let them go. Even, no matter what they did. No matter what they did. Because you're attached to them. Attachment, remember in some of them videos I'll be talking about, like, it's not the person. A lot of cases, it's not the person that you don't want to let go. It's the attachment. Attachment could be to anybody. It don't matter. You could be attached to weed, jobs, money, whatever. Unfortunately, attachment to a person is probably the strongest attachment that we possibly have as humans, but a lot of times it's not the person that y'all tweaking on. It's not the person that got you tweaking. It's the attachment. You want the attachment. So that's why you won't let them go, because they done everything in the book to you. And the reason why you don't want to let them go is not because they some great motherfucker, because they done everything in the book to you, right? It's the attachment that you want or thought you had with the person. The only way to fix this shit, like, break the attachment with them and then try to build it with somebody else in due time. If you understand that it's attachment. See, some people, what happens to some is they try to go get attached to somebody else without breaking the attachment of the other person. And they start to think that nobody can compare to the other person that they was with, that they're trying to break the attachment from. So they give up on that person and go back to the other person. But they don't understand that if they would have just waited it out or just not deal with anybody at all for a while, that eventually you would feel like that towards somebody else. You might even feel better if they're a better person to you and they're a better choice. You might feel better. The attachment with them might be even better, but not when you're attached to somebody else. Got to break that shit first, because as long as you attach, the stronger the attachment to that other person that you're trying to break, the weaker the attachment will be to someone else. It doesn't matter how great they are. They could be the best motherfucker on earth. This is why people be like, man, I'm going back to my ex. And they fumble a good person because they don't understand the attachment. They think it's the person. I can't, nobody compares to my ex. Yeah, right now, nah. Because that's the strongest attachment that you got. Of course, nobody compares to them right now. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. But if you know that, then you won't fumble. Or you be willing to let something go that's toxic. So his situation reminds me of me. And the funny thing is, when I was going through that shit, because he's younger than me. When I was going through that shit, he was around. Not like, he was around a lot, put it like that. He was around a lot when I was going through that shit. And now he's grown now and going through it. But there's no words that's going to make a motherfucker leave somebody alone. It's just not going to happen. They just gotta see that, they gotta experience it for themselves, which they will. If you keep hounding somebody that don't want you or claim they don't want you or think they don't want you, whatever the case, and you don't just let them go, you're going to lose them. So let's just say I got a girl and I care about the girl. Like, man, I don't want to lose her, but she don't want to be with me. Let's just say she don't want to be with me. We not talking about we just having a bad relationship and we need to fix it type shit. That's different. Then yeah, I should just go all in. If that don't work, then fuck it, right? Even the same thing, let her go, right? But anyways, let's just say I got a girl. She don't want to be with me no more. You know, I made the same mistake of trying to, but if I try harder, that's it. That's it. Try harder and tell her you love her more. She knows you care about her. That's why you think the girl don't know? Or you think that guy don't know that you care about him? What you do? I'm going to try harder to make him love me. He knows that you care. That's not the issue. The issue is he has to see your value. For whatever reason, he thinks that you're not that valuable or whatever. He don't want you or she don't want you or whatever. And the only way for them to see that value is to lose. They got to lose you. They got to lose you, dog. That's anything in life. You could be getting all kind of money and get comfortable. And sometimes you got to lose that shit to come back to reality. Same thing. And guess what? Even if sometimes you could take your value and they still don't see it or want it. And that's okay, but you'll see it. That's the golden thing. I'm just glad I said that. They might not see your value sometimes when you let them go, right? But you're going to see it. You're going to see it because you're going to start to love yourself. When you get some of that alone time, I'm telling you, dog, that's where you actually fall in love with yourself. Everybody scream and do cartwheels. I love myself, blah, blah, blah. And they need a girl to wash their clothes or something. You don't know nothing about loving yourself for real, for real. You think you do, but you don't. The only way you're going to know how it feels to really love yourself is to be alone. Everybody, in my opinion, needs a stage like this in their life to where they're just solitary, like they're alone. I just feel like that's the only way a person really finds themselves. Just my opinion, man, but they gotta lose you. But I think what most people do is, I'm gonna act like they lost me. No, you can't act this shit. You can't act it. They really gotta know that he gone. She gone. And it might not work. But you're not doing this shit for them. You're not doing this for them to come back. You're doing this to see if it's meant to be, it will be type shit. Or it's time for me to get the ball rolling of breaking this attachment. So either or. When I let go of the woman that don't want me, I get the ball rolling to get over her. Or if she come back, or that's the only chance she will come back. Put it like that. Now, will a woman come back if you keep begging her? Yeah, eventually, when it's not working with the guy that she wanted, or will a guy come back eventually? Yeah, when he get tired of dealing with that girl or don't work out, yeah. But there's no respect there. In fact, they respect you less and think that they can get away with even more. They really know I got it. I got this person really around my finger now. So that's not going to fix shit. The objective is to fix the problem. The objective is to make them see your worth. But you don't want to beg or try to force somebody to see your worth. You just got to do what you got to do. You care about the person. They don't want to listen. They don't want to act right, so I got to leave them alone. And 9 times out of 10, yes, they might see your worth. Honestly, let's go back a little bit. They know your worth. Walking away really don't make them see your worth, right? I mean, I guess that could. Here's why I say it don't. I think it can and I think it can't. But here's why I really don't think it do. Because I feel like they know your worth regardless. Before you walk away. Like, if somebody not acting right, shit, that don't mean they don't know your worth. That just mean that they take you for granted. Don't mean they don't know your worth. They know what they got before it's gone. A lot of people say that you don't know what you got until it's gone. You know what the fuck you got before it's gone. That's why you be holding on to it, but you still doing your own little bullshit, but you holding on to that, right? Because you know it's something. It's some benefit there. You ain't holding on to for no reason. If it was nothing, you would just like, oh, what am I holding on to this for? You don't. Do you hold on to a salvaged junk car that ain't got no value or nothing? No, you don't at all. Unless you had thought it had some value some type of way. That's the only way. But leaving them really don't make them see your worth, I don't think. Honestly, I think it's done once they want to leave you, if you really want to be honest. But if there is any chance of them actually wanting to work things out with you, it's you making them experience life without you. They have to experience your absence. The only problem with this shit is, since they're the ones that left, they only usually come back because something didn't work out with somebody else. And what happens is the person who got left feels like they gotta prove shit. The person that got left feels like they got to prove that they care and they love them. And that's the problem. No, they have to, the people who left have to prove to you the person that got left, that they want to deal with you and want to be with you, because you're not the person who left. You're not the one that said, I don't know if you're good enough and I don't want to be with you. Nah. That was them. But a lot of y'all allow them to flip the script, or you just flip the script for them and make it about you proving to them, well, I don't want them to leave again. Something was wrong. Poor baby that had to leave, the big poor baby that had to leave. He or she didn't know how to love because nobody loved them. Y'all know what y'all be making up for them. All these excuses. Bullshit, right? So what do? Y'all fall in that stupid ass trance of, like they're the victim, when really you're the fucking victim. Let's be real about it. You are the victim. So they gotta prove this shit to you. And 9 times out of 10, they'll prove it for a month maybe. Then they'll go back to their true colors. And the importance of you making them prove it is just in case. Because you care about somebody, so you want to see if there's another chance. I give you that. Who don't? Who wouldn't want to see that if you care about somebody? But guess what? They left, so they got to prove this shit. And you make them prove that. If you don't make them prove that, you might be back for like round 2 of another 5 years or some shit. That, like the first time. They could have been acting the whole time damn near that they really cared about you and didn't. And then life showed you that they didn't. And then you allow them to come back after they leave without proving shit. You might go through round 2 of another 5 years. But if I make the woman prove it, if she really serious, let's just say if she's really not serious and she just came back for her, not for me or because it didn't work, man, a month, couple weeks, she'll be right back. And that's good. Now you see, okay, I wasn't tripping. I knew I should have left you alone. Bye. Right? Versus you trying to prove it. They're going to play their little game that they probably was playing on you the whole time. And now your ass going to fall right back into the fucking illusion that they care. You might fall in that illusion forever this time. You might have kid bomb this time. Ain't no telling what's going to happen this time. It gets worse and worse. If it's some bullshit, it's not the right person, or life reveals to you who they are and you take them back and you shouldn't have, and it's wrong, it's going to get worse every time. Now, it gets better if it's right, like you probably should have went back, but I don't think nobody should, because I just don't feel like somebody would leave you. Not somebody you was really close to like that. I can see if y'all was talking for a month or some shit didn't work or something. You really ain't got no attachment like that. But somebody you was with for years, and then, nah, man, it probably ain't right. Y'all go back, man. But who am I to say? You know what I mean? I just have to be real about it. Nobody want to hear. Nobody want to accept the truth. Like, yep, it's over with me and her. Nobody want to hear that shit. It's over with me and him. I want to hear that shit, but it's the truth. And sometimes the truth sets you free. Truth always sets you free, actually. No, sometimes. Truth always sets you free. So whether you're a woman or man, you got to be a grown person about this shit. In the end, you're going to win. But you might lose holding on to the person. Don't make them try to stay. One thing I know about people is you don't go from attached to somebody and wanting to be with them forever, then all of a sudden, I don't want to be with you no more. Something going on there. Probably another person more than likely, because people do not just leave somebody that they feel that way about, unless they was lying the whole time, you know what I mean? But people don't just walk away. Nah, man, it's something else going on. And I just don't see in my heart of hearts. Now, if a woman we were just talking and, we didn't work, we went our ways for a while, I could probably still fuck with her. But if we was together and then you do some shit, I don't think I can't forget that, man. Unless I was doing the same shit, but I don't. So therefore, I don't think I can give you a second chance. And with that said, when shit did happen in relationships I was with, I really tried to give them a second chance, but honestly, I kind of really just downgraded them for real. Because really, you just feel like you they bitch or something. Like, why the fuck am I still talking to this chick? You know what I mean? Now, me now, I know better. You know what I mean? I understand the only way to get a woman's respect and shit like that after they do some fuck shit is to completely put them on ice. You know? Or if she does come back, she gotta prove that shit. She gotta prove it. It is what it is. Just like in the beginning, you gotta prove that you want somebody, right? Ain't that how it go in the beginning? When you start dating somebody, talking to somebody, you gotta prove that you want them, right? Well, you gotta start this shit over, but even harder because you didn't prove that you didn't really want me or you didn't really fuck with me like that, for basically. But you know, people are stupid and give people chances again. So since you want to do that, they gotta prove this shit to you, which they won't because they probably full of shit by coming back. They don't leave unless they really want to go. People don't leave unless they really want to go. Plain and simple, man. People do not leave unless they really want to go. How many times I gotta say that? I don't know, but it's the fucking truth. You don't leave some shit unless you was ready to go, man. You gonna leave a job that you love and it's the best job of your life, you want to be there forever type shit, aka a person, job, whatever. You gonna leave? Nah, you're not. Only reason why you would leave is because you thought you had something better or you was tired of it. Let's be real about it. So the same thing applies to humans. Same thing applies. A lot of men worry about a woman's sex and this and that, man. It's about respect. If I got a woman's respect, then I got everything else is better. Like, you can get sex from a woman, but she don't respect you, and she's setting you up in a hotel to get robbed or killed for some money or something. But if a woman respects you, she might not be with you or nothing like that. She's not gonna do some shit like that to a guy she respects. I ain't talking about because fear or some shit like that. I mean, like, respect. She genuinely respects you, fucks with you. She ain't gonna set you up. What's the difference? Both people getting sex from the chick, but she set one up to get robbed and shit. Or she takes it one for his money and shit. Woman who respects you ain't gonna do that shit. Same thing with a man who respects a female. He ain't gonna do that shit that these dudes be doing to these chicks that don't respect the chicks. He's just not. Man, look, man. Should you let them go? Yes. But for you. And you don't let them go because you want them to come back or miss you or all this bullshit. Because at the end of the day, they know who you are and they know how you feel about them and all this other shit. And they still want to act a certain way. So it is what it is. But that is the only way. If there is a chance for them to actually act better, treat you better, and all this other shit, they have to lose you. There's no other way around it. You know what I mean? You can't have somebody go out, deal with another guy or girl, right? Y'all break up for a little bit, but because they're dealing with another guy or girl, then they come back. They didn't lose you. You was there the whole time, still texting them and everything. That's not losing you. That's not losing you. So what do you think gonna happen? It's gonna be worse. Think about it. I fucked another girl and everything, and she took me back. First, she didn't know that I was fucking other girls, right? Now she know. Now I really know I got her. I already thought I had her before, but she knows I'm talking to other girls, and she still ain't left? Come on, man. Ain't no guy gonna get better out of this. Ain't no girl gonna get better out of this. Y'all don't hear me, though. Y'all think I'm just talking, heading to the gym, just talking because I got lips. It's the problem, man. I'm not saying what y'all want to hear, but I'm saying what y'all need to hear. There's a difference. You know, some people break up, they get back together, and everything better than it was before. But if that happens, more than likely it's because whoever thought that they wanted something different realized that they didn't. for whatever reason. But there was also a loss there. They had to experience the loss of the person. This does not happen if there's no experience of loss. Period. That's the only way, people. So if you love them and you want things to work with a person, you gotta let them go. Especially a woman. A man, you gotta let this woman go. That's the only shot. There's too many men in her face every day, everywhere she go. She ain't even got to be that cold, and she still got men all over her. A woman does not even have to be that cold and still got men on her because of the vagina. Men have no standards. Their standards is have a vagina. That's a man's standards. That's most men's standards. Have a vagina and look okay. Matter of fact, they don't even care what these women look like half the time. Have a vagina is their standard for most men. That's why a woman doesn't have to be that cold to have men over her. So if your woman is doing this, acting like she doesn't really want you and this or that, she got to experience losing you. If that don't work, it is what it is. You're a man anyway. You can't be crying. Now, I get why women might feel a certain way, but even women need to be like men when it comes to this shit. You know what I mean? You got to be 10 toes down, grown about this shit. It is what it is. They not God anyway. They wasn't born. You lived life before. You had a life before you met them. Why can't you have one without them? If you believe in God, there's no way that you should be scared to lose somebody that's doing you wrong or that making you feel like you want to die or something. Why are you scared of this? I don't understand. It's like y'all listen to the devil lie to y'all and tell y'all that you can't live without this person and this and that. Now this person your God, basically. You done made this person your damn God and don't even know it. You don't even know it. You done made them your God. How? Because if you didn't, you'd be like, man, I got God. I'm good. Yeah, it's going to hurt. I got to let this girl go, but I got God. So I'm good. It is what it is. Right? Instead of just simping, you know, oh, let me look outside of her car or her house and all that bullshit. I can't eat no more and all this. That you done made this woman your God. You done made this man your God. That's not cool. That's why everybody say if you love them, let them go. I say if you love yourself, you will let them go. They say they don't want you. If you love yourself, you will let them go. This type of mindset will also be the ultimate reason why you actually pick the right person this time. For a number of reasons, but the main reason is because you will not be like, oh man, I'm alone. Let me just fuck it. I give up. I'll just pick one that I don't really want. You won't do that because you'll have that mindset. I'm good. If you can let go of somebody that you was severely attached to, you good when it comes to a woman or man. You ain't got to fold. If you can get past some shit like that, nobody else should be able to rattle you too much. You might get in your feelings with another person, and if y'all break up, you in your feelings or something, but it ain't gonna be like that where you ain't eating this shit because you'd already passed that shit. You know, that first love type shit. You still love them the same as the first love, but you just know how to handle it if a breakup happens. Because it's not your first breakup. But yeah, man, I think I'm done with this shit, man. If you love them, let them go. If they don't want you, they act like they say they don't want you or something, gotta let them go. Gotta let them go. Time to love yourself. Time to love yourself. A lot of them are only acting the way they're acting because they know that you're scared to lose them. And they have no fear of losing you. And there's no fear of losing you because you are so scared of losing them that you don't walk away when they do this dumb shit. You ain't nobody, you're a failure, you this and all that name calling, and nobody else will want you. All these lies from the devil, man. Sometimes the devil's speaking through them to you, telling you nobody wants you and all this crazy shit, man. A lot of times all that shit is to just make you think you can't do better than them. Oh yeah, it's not about them. I think one of the biggest stumbling blocks why a motherfucker will not let somebody go is because you think that it's about finding someone else. But really, it's about finding you. Then when you find you, there's a good chance that you're going to find somebody else. The right person. Because why? Because you found the right person within you. Once you get that isolation time, you're going to find yourself. Once you understand yourself, you're going to understand what type of person is good for you. Because you have officially become the right person. You have officially become a good person, a great person. So now you can see it in other people. You cannot see that shit. You can't, how you going to know what love is and you ain't found it in yourself yet? How you going to find love in someone else and you haven't found it in yourself yet? Explain. I'll wait. You can't. You have to find it in yourself first. Then you understand it fully, and then you can see it in other people. You'll know who's really who and who's not. Like, nah, that ain't love. The way that girl acting, that ain't love, man. She texts me once every 5 weeks. That ain't love. You know, he doing this or that. That ain't love. Nah, I'm good. I liked him and all, but nah, I'm cool. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna pick them, and you're not gonna be thirsty to pick the wrong ones. You're not gonna be thirsty to pick the wrong ones, and you're gonna also understand who really fucking with you, who's really not type shit. And all these things ultimately end up helping you pick the right person. Because it's all about who you pick. All this, he's this, she's this, he's that. You can go on and on. At the end of the day, none of that shit matters if you pick the wrong person. None of it. None of it. Who cares if she look fine? She not the right one. She not the right girl. None of that matters. It don't matter how much I like her. The more I like her, the more it's going to hurt if she's the wrong one. If anything. But remember, if you decide to leave this person alone, it's not about finding someone else. Because a lot of people will not leave someone alone until they got someone else. And that's foolishness, because you really can't feel how you really feel about somebody 100% when you're attached to somebody else. You know, that attachment has to be broken. Then you can start to see how you really feel about someone else. You know, like you break up with somebody, you don't want to deal with the opposite sex like that. Some people do. They try to say that helps them get over it. But me, personally, that makes me think about the person even more. So I don't move that way. I wait. You know what I mean? Then once I'm cool, then I might start talking to people. But it's not about them. Moving on is not about them. It's about you. Moving on is not about them, it's about you. Moving on is not about them, it's about you. Moving on is not about someone else, it's about you. It's not about having someone else. Moving on is not about finding someone else, it's about finding you. Moving on is not about finding someone else, it's about finding you. I'm done, man. Yeah, I'll talk to y'all next time, man. I know y'all got this message. This is a pretty good one, you know. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, man. And I hope Dude sees this. Matter of fact, I'll put it in his inbox and make him see it. But, you know, when I see shit on Facebook, that's what makes me want to post a video. So I appreciate when I see shit like that on Facebook. That gives me an idea to talk about something. And then I just go. So catch you on the next one.